Yo les he prometido siempre hacer un video sobre las cosas que se tienen que hacer o los pasos para comprar propiedades en Nicaragua, pero hoy quiero avanzar en un tema que siempre me preguntan, y este tema está dirigido para todos los extranjeros que nos visitan y que quieren aplicar a una residencia. Y me parece muy importante porque es constantemente la pregunta que me hacen: ¿qué hago para una residencia? So guys, welcome today to another episode for Carlos Real Estate. And I always promise you to do a video about what to do to buy a property in Nicaragua. But always the same questions is, what can I do for be a resident of Nicaragua? What's the process like and everything else? So, you know, I was thinking, if that's the questions all the time, I think it's correct to introduce you to one of my friends who's a lawyer. And by the end of the video, I'm gonna put the links of his contacts if you have more questions. So he's the most qualified, one of the most qualified person I have met in this business. And I can tell you, I met a lot of people trying to do the same things, but not always the result is what I was expecting to see. And one of my first tips to you guys is, before to do something, especially if it's related to your legal situation, and if you want to really stay longer time and you want to do business, or you want to bring your family, and you feel like every time you come to the countries and you have to leave 3 months and come back 3 months later, that's a hassle and that's a big problem, especially when you have to spend a lot of money on that. So anyhow, I want to introduce you my friend Paul. How's it, Paul?
Hi, Carlos.
How are you, my friend?
Hi, how are you?
So, I'm sorry. So let's see. Okay.
Please sit down.
Okay. You good? That's perfect. So, Paul, thank you for letting me have some time with you. And I have a lot of people come to me, and the biggest question is, Carlos, I want to buy a property. What can I do, and things like that. That's going to be another episode, guys. But one of the things is, what can I do if I want to be a Nicaraguan resident? What it takes to be a resident in Nicaragua?
Well, depending on what kind of residency works for him or her.
It means there are a lot of different types of those?
Yes, there are residency for retirees, for example, which is one of the most popular. There are residency for foreign investors.
Mm-hmm.
There are residency for business people. There are residency for missionaries who comes to work for free or with NGOs, and some church, for example. And there are residency for a spouse, when a foreign person married to a Nicaraguan.
Okay. So now you can tell, guys. So I didn't know this. I thought it was only one type of residency. So obviously, NGO, for those people who are not familiar with NGO, is non-profit organization, is correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so what do you think is the most important things to do before to start all this process?
Well, the most important is to receive the proper advice from a lawyer who knows the process very well, and prepare the documentation that immigration requires in order to apply and receive the residency.
Okay, so you're saying that any kind of lawyer can really do this?
Well, yes, but not all of them have the experience or expertise to process residency for foreign people.
Oh, okay. So, another question that always comes to me is, this process take a long time? Do you think in 1 year period, it's less than 1 year period? It's also, how many months do you think, when people really, obviously you need to have all the documents ready. So let's say you have all your paper ready and you follow up your advices. How long it will take approximately?
Usually it's almost the same for any kind of residency, but there's going to be some changes depending on what kind of residency. Foreign people who apply as a rentier, for example, or retirees, takes less time than people who apply as a foreign investor, for example. But the average is between 6 and 12 months.
Okay, so let's say, because guys, we are in Nicaragua, so sometimes with things, times takes 5 months, 4 months, or 6 months, and I know lawyers always deal with these problems, which is, how can you understand the timeline in Nicaragua? Sometimes can be longer or less, depends what you really put all together. It's very important for lawyers to have every documents ready. So That's one of the reasons why I want to introduce you my friend Paul, who always has the same experience all over and over again. So I'd rather say 12 months will be a very decent timeline, according with what Paul also told me before. So you will say 12 months will be a decent time
Yes.
to do all the work and prevent any delay.
Yes.
That's correct.
That's correct.
So, well, you were saying that there are different type of residency qualification or different type of residency card.
Categories.
Categories. Okay, perfect. So we can continue talking another episode about this type of categories. So guys, if you have a questions, direct questions about what kind of residency you're looking for, because I'm sure a lawyer like Paul Tiffer can tell us, you know, what it takes, because each one is very specific. Is correct?
That's correct.
So everyone can be different in terms of money, in terms of times, or the longer time they allow you to stay here.
And the age.
And the age. Okay.
Of course, because it's not the same a residency for a retiree, for a businessman who it can be younger, for example.
Oh, okay. So that's very important to know.
Yes, of course.
So, all right. Can you be a businessman in your 60s and apply for the same business?
Oh yes, of course.
So that's not a problem.
No, of course not.
And I can be 20 and apply for business as well, and no problem.
Of course.
But it's the same documentation.
Yes, basically the same.
Basically the same. And thank you very much for allowing me to make all these questions. I know it's always the same questions from different people. And please, guys, send me your email, send me your questions, you know, and I will be very happy to introduce my friend Paul, who can help you with. He has a website, he has different links I'm gonna share with you guys. So it's very important, before to spend your time and energy, get and request the best advisors as possible. And that's the same things I do for my customers on real estate. Because sometimes you can spend unnecessary time and energy, and if you know exactly what you want to do, if you have in advance all these steps. So guys, see you next time in the next episode, and I hope to see more Paul eventually on this business.